What do you notice about this picture in terms of, say, population?
A handful.
Handful. A lot of men, right. There's one woman in this picture. Her name is Waldina. Where is she?
The horse.
Bottom left.
She's not the horse. Very nice. Popular answers when I generally ask where the woman is in this picture, people say, oh, it's the horse or in the kitchen.
Oh,
I've actually heard people say, which is awful.
bottom left.
No, right here. Right here. This woman right here. Just so happens to stand on a corner. So after the Great Seattle Fire, we decide that we're going to take a census as we're raising the streets, and we find out who knows what a census is, yeah? So, very basic questions: who are you, where do you live, where are you from, what's your age, what's your gender, are you married or are you not? We found out some very, very interesting facts from this census. While we're doing the whole Danny Reed rate and everything, we find out that the ratio of men to women in the city is 8 to 1. We find out that all of the women that are in the city are young and single. We find out that they all live in the same 3-block radius, and that they had all listed their job as seamstress. So we kind of knew what was going on, but we had to be absolutely sure. So our good, stalwart, very moral, very Christian city leaders asked for volunteers to head into Seattle's first garment district and find out precisely what was happening. And as one, 100 men rose up and volunteered. 10 were selected. And these 10 men started running around the city gathering all the clothing that they could. Keep in mind, these are loggers and miners. They're really, really hard on their clothes. So they go into the garment district and begin to perform exhaustive research for about a month, and then they report back to the city leaders that these seamstresses are bringing in an incredible amount of money into the city. So our good, stalwart, very moral, very Christian city leaders immediately do what? They tax them, absolutely. Yeah, very nice. Very good, sir. They institute the sewing machine usage tax. Now make that an acronym, SMUT. So the sewing machine usage tax for the next 4 years brings in what percent of the city of Seattle's operating budget? What do you think? 80? What'd you say?
I said 50.
50? 50 is too low. 80 is close.
75.
No, actually, 90. 90 is the closest. 87%. 87% of the city of Seattle's operating budget is brought in by the sewing machine usage tax for the next 4 years. Yep. Now, these 10 men that went and did all of this research didn't find one sewing machine in the entire garment district. Apparently all the work was done by hand. There was one very, very prestigious seamstress named Madame Lou Graham. Madame Lou Graham headed up her own sewing circle. She was very dedicated to education and city politics. Though she was never elected, she often sat on council. So, when this woman died, she donated the entirety of her estate to the Seattle Public School System. She, single-handedly upon her death, gave our school system its start. And do we have one school, one library branch, one bookshelf named after her? No, we certainly don't. And that's part of the reason why Bill Spidell wrote the books that he did. Chapter 10, in his book Sons of the Prophets, which is the book that this story is based on, is called Madame Lou Graham, the hostess with the mostest. And in this chapter you learn a lot of really cool stuff about the true history of Seattle. You learn that she single-handedly started our school system. You learn that she, the second time Henry Esler put us into bankruptcy, she, with a loan from her own pocket, saved us from that bankruptcy. It is this chapter that we believe contributed the most to the book being banned from the public school system that she herself started.
First stimulus package.
I am stealing that joke. I have no shame. Very nice, sir. I like that. So, now, it's also this chapter that we think makes it the most stolen book from our public library system as well. The most important thing, though, that you can learn in this chapter is that, provided you do it safely, sewing is a lot of fun, even if you have to do it by yourself.